All right. I'm really bored at home in a winter storm right now, so I wanted to talk about the NFL Wildcard Weekend, and I want to start with the Texans at the Chargers. Texans the 4 seed at the 5 seed Chargers this week. Really weird game since the Texans, I don't know, they're so good last year and Stroud was great, and now he's on his like weird little sophomore slump that I didn't really expect for him to get to. I thought he'd still be really good. Part of the weird thing with the Texans was Joe Mixon going absolutely nuclear for like the first kind of half to 2/3 of the year after he came back from when he got hurt for the first month of the year. Stroud looks, or he's producing much worse than last year still. It's like now they kind of don't have either of that on offense, it feels like, and maybe they'll be able to turn it on against a weird Chargers defense that was playing above their level and is kind of bounced around with that. But I really just don't believe in the Texans at this point, so we're going to have to see what happens with that. All right, next we have the 3 seed Ravens with the 6 seed Steelers coming into Baltimore, and this is a weird game because it's a divisional game. The Steelers were on track to get the higher seed to win the division earlier, but then they kind of fell off. The Ravens took over. The Ravens have been great since they moved Kyle Hamilton back into, I think, free safety when they had him doing all his weird linebacker stuff and bouncing around, and he's been able to have a really high impact on their defense. And there's a lot of different reasons that the Ravens defense has kind of figured it out, but the important thing is that their defense looks better. They were horrible earlier in the year, but it seems like they're finally figuring it out. And obviously they have a ridiculous offense. They have potentially a third time MVP for Lamar, which I hope he gets. We'll see. Um, they got Derrick Henry, and it's just their offense is unstoppable. Their defense has improved. It's still not the same as what I felt like they had last year, but the Ravens have no reason to lose this game, except for the fact that it's the Steelers, and they always lose to the Steelers, and it's ridiculous. But I'm picking the Ravens. If the Steelers come in and win, great. Weird. It'll be a weird playoffs if that happens, but I'm picking the Ravens. I think it's pretty straightforward. All right, and next we have the game that I'm most excited for this weekend. We have the 2 seed Buffalo Bills at the 7 seed my Broncos, and the Bills are really heavily favored in this game. And I'm going to come straight out and say it. I think I'm just going to pick the Bills, um, but I think this is a much closer game than most people expect it's going to be. I think the Broncos actually are a good matchup for the Bills, but kind of at the end of the day, I see Josh Allen and I get scared. He's a train that just runs over teams that aren't ready for him. I could see this either being super close, and I could see Denver coming out and pulling away with it thanks to the defense, or I could see the Bills absolutely crushing, kind of in a similar fashion to the Broncos Ravens game earlier in the year. They're not there yet. They're a really young team with a shit ton of dead cap money in towards Russell Wilson. And all that. So they're a team that's just not ready to win a Super Bowl, but I think that this could be a super exciting game. I'm really interested to see if Knicks can keep up on the offensive side, and my main key to make this game close and to give the Broncos a chance at taking it home is the run game. We've been really struggling to efficiently run the ball all year. There's not really an established one in Sean Payton's offense. He kind of bounces around between Jaleel McLaughlin and Javante and Estime, and depending on who's healthy. But he literally like switches them each play. It's weird. But I'm picking the Bills. I'm super excited for this game, even though I kind of expect it to end in a little bit of disappointment for me. But if the Bills win, I hope they go all the way. And on Sunday, we have the 7 seed Packers at the 2 seed Eagles, which was a crazy flip. I was kind of hoping that we'd get Commanders at Eagles and then Packers at Bucks because I want to see the Packers make a deeper run. But we'll see. This is kind of an interesting matchup that also has a little bit of a bigger spread because the Eagles just field a stronger team right now. The Packers are, once again, I think the youngest team in football. The Eagles have the big advantage of their dominant O-line. I'm very excited to see them go up against the Packers D-line. I kind of expect the Eagles to be able to have their way to a certain degree on offense with the Packers, and I think this game is going to come down to if Jordan Love and Jaden Reed or Kraft or Dubs or whoever is the guy in this game can perform against this Eagles defense, who has bounced back in an insane way from last year when they were really struggling. And I hope that can happen. I hope this can be a close game, but I'm struggling to pick the Packers, even though last year they were the 7th seed and they beat the Cowboys at home and absolutely crushed them. I think the Eagles are too good right now, but I hope this is an exciting game. I'm very excited to see it. Next, we have the 6 seed Commanders at the Buccaneers. They're the 3 seed, and I'm re-recording this because I sat there for like 5 minutes after I said what I picked, and I kind of flipped my mind. I think this game's super close. I think it's the second closest game that I really don't know what to pick besides the Monday night game, the next game. Um, but I really like the Bucks on offense in this game, but I worry about their defense. I feel like all year long, their pass defense has kind of been getting crushed by almost everybody they play. Like, I don't know how true that is. I haven't dug into stats. I don't really care. I just feel like they're kind of a pass funnel. They have Vita Vea, so it's annoying to run on him, but you can throw the ball all over him. And I think the Bucks can win if this is, Jaden Daniels coming in. He's a rookie. If he's doing rookie things and he's not ready for the pressure of this game, I think the Bucks will win. But I feel like rookies are coming in more and more prepared, and I feel like the Commanders can and probably should win this game. They have a better defense in my mind. They have an offense that can keep up. Jaden can run like crazy. A lot of teams just aren't ready for that. We've seen that with the Ravens with their ridiculous record against out of division opponents or out of conference opponents. So I believe in both these teams in this game, but I think I'm going to pick the Commanders because I want a little upset. And I feel biased saying, oh, he's a rookie, he's not going to win. I think that's lame. So I'm picking the Commanders, but it could totally flip either way. I really don't know. And last but definitely not least, we have the 5 seed Vikings going into LA at the Rams with, I guess, I don't know, with the whole LA fire stuff going on, I'm assuming this is still going to happen on Monday, but I don't really know. For all I know, this game could get delayed. I don't know where the fires are at, but this on paper is a super exciting game. I think the line is -1 Minnesota. So the Vikings are favored by 1 on the road right now, at least on ESPN is what I'm looking at. But this could be a super close game. I hope it's high scoring, but with the Vikings defense and how kind of coin flippy the Rams can be, I think it could be a lower scoring game. I hope it's not though. I hope Stafford plays great. I hope Puka gets like 100 yards and a touchdown. And I hope the Vikings can keep up, and that's the Vikings' key. They have a really good defense, and I think they can slow down the Rams and make it a close game. But that's where I worry about it being a low-scoring game, because Darnold was a mess last week, and I don't know if that was just a Lions thing. I don't know if that was an Aaron Glenn thing, or if it was a Darnold thing, because he's weird sometimes, but he's been so good this year. I'm going to trust that the Vikings still got it and that they can win this game. And if the Vikings do, and they can hold Stafford and Puka and Kyron in check and maybe get ahead of the Rams' defense, I think the Vikings could set themselves up for a rematch of their Week 18 game against the Lions, and that could be really exciting. But Darnold could fall on his face, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm taking the Vikings on the road. Anyways, thanks for being with me. I'm super excited to watch these games over the weekend, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I get some upsets. Although I guess I did pick the Commanders upset. That's the big one that I feel like could flip. But I'm super excited. I hope it's a good weekend of games. But we shall see.